All right. Welcome back to another recording of Pencil Leadership. I'm your host, Chris Anderson. Excited to bring you a friend I met a while back and worked together a little bit, and now get to just see him improving and succeeding on his journey. So today, Israel Hernandez is on our show today, and he is a distinguished Toastmaster. And what you might not know about that is with Toastmasters, there's like 100 and almost 140,000 people in Toastmasters. Now, only about 2% become distinguished Toastmasters, and Israel has become a distinguished Toastmaster. So that's a huge accomplishment on his journey. He also is building out his Armor of God coaching, or he's the owner and founder of that, which helps companies increase their employee engagement, among other things. And then he's also a published author of the book Keep Moving Forward. And if you look in the description here, wherever you're watching this live, you can go and hit that link, and it'll take you to his book, so you can check it out a little bit more and hopefully purchase it, because it's a great story about just moving forward, life's ups and downs to succeed. So Israel, welcome to Pencil Leadership, man.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's an honor and a privilege to be here with you, bro. It really is, because of you I started my podcast too.
Yeah, it's a cool thing, man, just to see where you've gone since those first kind of introductions and everything, and being able to keep up with you. And so yeah, super excited and humbled that you're on the show today.
Thank you.
And I know a lot of people are gonna, I think, resonate with your story a little bit, and what you've been through and what you've done, and then also just like, holy cow, Israel, and that's crazy. So yeah, to kind of start us out, I know you have kind of a backstory like everyone else, siblings, you grew up, but your mom is a special lady, right?
Oh yes, my mom raised 6 boys on her own.
Woof.
She's my Captain America. She's my Superman. She's the greatest hero of all times. She was the person that gave me a very strong work ethic.
Mm,
I dropped out of school, got my GED. I grew up in the fields working as a migrant worker. Uh, so I mean, it was hard life for me.
yeah.
It was hard, but you know what? At the same time, I enjoyed it. Because
Okay.
I met a lot of people from all over the country in the fields. I mean, I was like between 6 and 13 years old when I worked in the field, but it taught me a
Wow.
lot of lessons that I apply now. It's funny
Yeah.
how we complain as kids, but now I've learned to really apply the principle that my mom taught me growing up.
Mm,
Being work on time and just give 100% in whatever you do, and the most important thing is having a very strong work ethic.
yeah.
That's something that my mom embedded in us, having a strong work ethic. So ever since that, I always been work ethic. I've always
Yeah.
loved to work. I'd always love to work. I love
And
having things.
and so starting, I mean, young as a migrant worker, I'm sure there were so many challenges. Just, I mean, being one of six brothers for one, and then being a migrant worker. So, did you have any? Do you like any stories resonate or kind of stick out in your mind that were big, just like learning moments for you that you look back on? Maybe like, I see your big smile right now, so I'm sure you got some. So,
There's a lot of learning moments. I remember one time I was like around 8 years old, and we were picking watermelons. And back then, I mean, the watermelons back in the 70s and 80s were like around 20 or 30 pounds. They were big watermelons, huge ones, because they were huge. And I remember my dad one time, he said, "Here, roll it to the truck, because we need to roll it to the truck, and men will catch it and put it in the trucks to go sell them at the supermarket." And one day I remember I was rolling one, and there was a rock right in front of the watermelon. And I was telling my dad, "Dad, I can't move it. I need help." My dad says, "No, figure it out.
mm,
Figure it out." And I said, "Dad, no, I want to get the watermelon to the truck." Because I was raising with other people, because other families had their children also. So everybody has their own. Everybody had their own line.
mm,
So So I was rolling it, and there was a rock, and that rock, and that rock. And that rock, my dad said, figure it out. So I went around the watermelon, and I said, how could I get this thing out? So I was thinking. So what I did, I went and I got a a, a tree stump, a tree, and I started digging around the tree. Around the rock. Started digging in it, digging in it, digging in it, digging in it until I digged it. I put my hands under the rock and I pulled the rock out, and I covered the whole back, and I rolled the watermelon all the way to the truck.
Mm,
And my dad says, "You see, son, you gotta think. You have to think."
absolutely.
And that's one of the special moments that I still carry with me today, because when a problem arises, think, how can you solve this problem? Instead of
Absolutely.
complaining,
Yep.
how do you solve this problem?
That's a great point. And I know just along your journey, like you've run into a lot of different things that you've had to, figure out, and a lot of obstacles that you've worked through and overcome. And so what all have you been through? I know it's been a journey, man. And so I'm excited to have other people hear this story and then get the book, because you go so much into that. And so what other things have you had to overcome and accomplish along your
Well,
journey?
I started doing drugs when I was 11 years old.
Mm.
My neighbor started telling me, "Hey man, you want to smoke a cigarette?" I said, "Yes," but it wasn't a cigarette; it was a joint. It was a
Mm.
marijuana joint. So after that, I started getting high, and then the pills started coming around, the uppers and downers, the Quaaludes, the Mandrax, the whatever it was. I wanted to take it, and then at 16, I started doing coke, and I got hooked on that bad.
Mm.
And then I started joining gangs because my dad was never around, so
Okay.
I needed love from someone. So my gang members, my friends, they were my brothers, my sisters, my moms, my aunts, my uncles. Those are the ones that encouraged me, even to do wrong. They still encourage me. You know,
Yeah,
they still encourage me. Those are the ones that give me the hugs, the kisses, the pat in the back. The, I love you. So
man.
yeah, it's because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be loved, and those were the people that loved me. Uh, and then I got hooked to the drug that I told people to stay away from, crack
Mm.
cocaine, man. Stay away from that. That was my God. That was the wonder drug for me that took me from here down.
Mm.
I sold everything. My whole check will go. I will beg for money. I will steal whatever I needed to do just to get my head on that rock.
Mm.
Uh, I lost a lot of respect from people. I burned a lot of bridges. And February 14 of 2004, I decided to turn my life around. I came to San Antonio. I just picked up my stuff, have a couple of $100 in my pocket, and took out to San Antonio, man.
So,
Boom. By
so
myself.
did were some of those bridges? I mean, do you still have relationships with your brother, and
Oh,
I know
yes,
with your
yes, yes,
mother? What
yes,
about your
yes.
father?
My father passed away in 97.
Okay.
In 97. And in 97, in 97, but he was never around anyway. So when he
Okay.
passed around, when he passed around, when he passed like a friend, not like a
Gotcha.
parent.
Okay.
When he passed away, I cried because he was like mostly as a friend,
I
not
gotcha.
like a father. Like,
Okay.
and the next day I just got over it.
Really? So you
Yeah.
never were able to kind of reconcile that relationship at all?
It's funny. It's funny because when my mom was in the hospital, I still had a lot of bitterness and anger
Mm.
because I still wanted a father in my life. I still hated him.
Mm.
He still had control over me in the grave.
Wow,
I still, when
man.
I would go out with my friends, I hate my damn father. I hate this. It's
Mm.
because I never knew how to forgive and forget. So what I did one day, I went to the grave and I yelled at him. I
Hmm.
screamed at him, And then I said in the end, I said, Dad, I forgive you.
Wow.
And ever since that, I've been free. I've been free of that. He has no control over me anymore. He has nothing no more. He's
Yeah.
he's past.
It's crazy how forgiveness, a lot of the times when we forgive people, it's a lot more just it's for ourselves, for our healing, for our process of moving forward more than theirs. Sometimes they don't even know, like, oh, okay, I did something, but it eats at us. And so when we can forgive, it's such a weight lifted off.
Oh yes, it's definitely, because one thing I've learned is forgiveness is not for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's for you, man.
Yep.
Because
Absolutely.
I carried that monkey in my back for years. I blame everything on him. I'm not educated enough. I never had a good job. My dad never take me this. I'm a drug addict because of my dad. Whatever it was. I always blame it on somebody, but I never deep down inside of myself knew was, what, it's my choice.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
never had it's funny because, to be honest, I always wanted someone that I could follow. Someone that could say, man, thank God you're my dad.
Yeah.
Thank God you're my dad. No, I followed my dad, but in the wrong examples,
Yeah.
smoking, drinking. If my dad could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? And my dad could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. You took the example he had given you and you kind of said, okay, that too, I'm going to be, I can be better. I can do it better. And
Oh yes. Oh
okay.
yes, definitely. 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 You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely. And I regret a lot of things in my life. I'm not gonna say no. I've been in probation boot camps, military boot camps. I've been in lunatic hospitals. I've been in halfway houses. I've been in drug programs. You name it. Been in jail. I mean, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in drugs. Not just
Wow.
tens of thousands, hundreds, hundreds of thousands of dollars in drugs. Yeah, I would lock myself in a room for a week just smoking that thing. I would spend $2,000 or $3,000 a week just
Jeez.
partying out, brother. Just partying out.
So you finally had that moment and you, like you said, you moved to San Antonio. You wanted to basically start fresh, start over. And so you went to San Antonio, right?
Yeah, give me 1 second, man. There's something wrong with my laptop, real quick.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. All right. For those paying attention, we just have a little technical difficulties. Hey, when we do these live, sometimes that happens. No
Yeah,
big
sorry about
deal.
that,
So.
man. There's
No, it's all right.
something wrong with my laptop. Okay,
We don't want to lose you on here, so that's all right.
There it is, buddy. I got it.
All right, good deal. So yeah, just talking about how you had all that and you finally said, okay, enough's enough. I got to get out of here. And you moved to San Antonio, right? So what's that process look like when you're in San Antonio? I'm sure it wasn't just a click or flip of the switch and hey, I'm good now. I'm a model citizen. I'm up and up like, but it was a beginning. So what was that process like from that change?
I spent the night in the corner of 410 and Bandera by myself in my truck. Okay,
Wow.
I didn't know anybody. And then I knew I needed to detox. I knew I needed to get all the drugs, cigarettes out of my system. So I rented a room for a couple of days. And I just put the air conditioner on and by myself gallons of water. I fasted just to detox.
Wow.
And it's funny because in the room I could smell the drugs. Hey, what smells? But what smells? But it was me. I was detoxing all that drugs. I mean, I'm not lying, Chris. I would get a shirt and I would go like this, look.
Wipe your arm and
all the sweat and the drug. And I was smelling it. God, this is me.
Wow.
I would even at night when their condition was full blast, I would sweat all the sweat. And then, have you ever seen those movies when they back in the cartoon days when somebody would die and they put a shock over the body? You know what I'm talking about? That's what the body was. Remember how they used to do a chalk?
Yeah, chalk line around it. Yeah.
Chalk liner. Well, what's what I did for me, when I get up in the morning and you see the white blanket on my bed, you could see my body, bro.
Wow.
All the sweat that just
Just
man.
getting all of that junk out of you.
It took me like at least 3 or 4 days, bro.
Wow.
I mean, I just all that detox, all that. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was hard.
Oh, I can't imagine.
The first 3 months was the hardest part because my body wanted that drug.
How did you stay? How did you go in those months and stay away? Did you
I
slip back at all, or did
no,
you have
because
to?
I didn't know anybody from San Antonio. I didn't know anybody, so I didn't know where to score. I didn't know where to buy drugs. I didn't know, so it it was good in a way, you know. It was
Yeah.
good. I didn't know anybody.
So you had the urges, you had the craving, but
Oh, of course,
you couldn't partake because you didn't know, and you just what did you focus on then? You eventually where you're like, okay, I can't get this, so I'm going to focus on something else.
get a job.
Okay.
So I got a job. I applied all over until Citibank called me. So I was good at computers. So I worked there for a couple of years, and then I found another part-time job, and that kept me busy. Kept me busy for a while. And then I was hearing a tape from Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar, one of my mentors that I still listen to him once in a while. He said this: if you want to be a better communicator or tell a story, join Toastmasters. I said, what's Toastmasters? What's Toastmasters? What
Yeah.
is that? So I went online, Toastmasters, and boom, I saw a club called 9434. It's one of the top club in San Antonio.
Okay.
So there's different clubs for different people. There's
Gotcha.
professionals, there's for business owners, but this one was for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
You had entrepreneurs and business owners. So you had in the club you have lawyers, attorneys, nurses, CEOs, teachers, executives, those. So I joined the club. No, first of all, let's go back out. I called the club, and this guy Scott Avery answered the phone. He was the president of the club back then, and I told him my story. He told me, "Man, you need to come to our club." I said, "No, man, you have all these people that look down on me. You know, I mean, I don't even own a tie. I don't even own some pair of shoes. He said, just come,
Wow.
just come." So I went and I joined. I sat down and I listened because at Toastmasters, when you join, they give you packages. Back in my day, now it's different. Now it's called Pathways.
Okay.
They give you a package, and each package comes with 10 speeches. So they'll pick 2 people every Friday. Those 2 people will go against each other.
Oh, wow.
It's like a speech contest.
Huh.
They'll go against each other, and in the end, we'll vote for best speaker. But before the best speaker, they'll do evaluations. What did you do good, and what did you do bad? So I said to my mind, I could do this. Easy. So I joined Toastmasters, and the first speech is called It's called the icebreaker.
Okay.
In other words, introduce yourself.
Gotcha. Yep.
So I went against Trey. His name is Trey. He was an attorney. I went against him. I said, "Man, this guy is gonna beat me." I still remember. He went first, but he was too stiff. He didn't move around. Me, I was excited, man. I don't know why. Because I was not afraid of the public eye. I'm not afraid being around people. You know, I'm a people person. I made people laugh. In my mind, I thought I did 100% great, but my evaluation was bad. You did this bad, but I won first place.
Wow.
I got a ribbon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I still have the ribbon.
Was that moment like when you got that ribbon? Because I know previously you talked about you joined the gang because of that recognition, of that kind of support, of all that. Was that like a click for you? Like, wow, I can find that here. I can have people in a positive community that support me, that, you know, see something in me. Did that ever cross your mind?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because when I was in the gang, I had people under me. It's funny
Okay.
because I knew how to encourage,
Mm.
I knew how to motivate, I know how to comfort.
Huh.
As a leader, I knew how to
Yeah.
listen. So I had people that looked up to me. So in Toastmasters was a different environment for me.
Mm.
I mean, you have lawyers, whatever, you know, educated
Yeah.
people. I have a GED.
Was that hard
Oh
when
yes, of
as
course,
you're practicing? Was there ever a lot of self-doubt?
of course.
Yeah.
My self-esteem was so small,
Mm.
but I knew in the heart of hearts that I had to be there
Why? How come?
because I needed to grow. I needed to get out of my old way of thinking. I
Uh,
needed to re-image myself. I have to see myself different. Don't see yourself no more as a gang member or crack addict or a thug
hmm.
or a bully. No, I needed to see myself as the way God sees me.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
so
That's awesome.
so I joined the club. I joined the club, and I said to myself, "What's a DTM?" You know, oh, it's a distinguished Toastmasters. Only 2% of Toastmasters get it worldwide.
Wow.
I'm gonna get it in 5 years. I told them that. They didn't believe me. A lot of people doubted me.
Yeah.
A lot. I went against people that didn't want me in the club
Huh. Really?
because I was not educated.
Oh, wow.
Because I couldn't pronounce words, because I didn't dress the part.
Mm.
I said, no way, man. I said, you know what? I'm gonna stay here. And I have people that encourage me, Hazel, you got this. You got this. You got this. So okay. And I still remember Chris, man. Feel emotional, bro. I was in my home and I said, I'm gonna write a book. You know, I'm gonna write a book.
Yeah.
Friday, I went to Toastmasters, and I still remember it was my speech. It's called presentation. It's called presentation. Any topic.
Okay.
So I broke it down. I had to come with slides, 3 points,
Hmm.
closure. I said, you know what, guys? This time I'm gonna write a book and pop. I did it in my slides, whatever. Some people cheer, some people say, yeah, right. So
Jeez.
of course, man. People don't want me to
Wow.
succeed. Yeah, it's funny. So what I did, I would stay up to 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning writing, bro. You see, just think about it, because I'm not on. Back then, I didn't know how to write a book. Okay, so what I
Right.
did, I went to go to I went to Barnes and Noble and
Mhm.
bought books on how to write a book.
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
I met other authors and I asked them questions. Hey, how do you write a book? Just write. How about my chapters? Says, don't worry about those. Just write. Just write. So I wrote and wrote, and then I broke it down to chapters. And then I sent it out, got it edited, got it whatever I did. And then I went to Toastmasters again. And I said, hey guys, this is my manuscript right here. And everybody freaked out. In 1 month, this book is going to be published.
That's
And I'm
awesome.
going to be an author. And people still didn't believe me.
Wow.
It's funny, bro. You could show them evidence and people still
It's
won't believe you, brother.
still doubt. So did you get it published in that month?
I got it published last month. It's called Keep Moving
Nice.
Forward, the 7
Yep.
Keys to Transform Your Life. I sold over 1,000 books. What amazed it, what amazed me is, I'm gonna be totally honest, man. I've never said this before. Is I was so proud of myself, bro, that I
Mm.
still doubted myself. You
Wow.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was proud of myself for accomplishing, but I was still not proud of myself because I did not please the people that didn't want me to succeed.
You still gave them power, kind of.
Give them power, man.
Mm.
That's one thing that I learned, that I had to learn to let go.
Yeah. It can be
Until
hard.
it was hard because I
Yeah.
wanted to please them so bad.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in their little group.
Right. And when we give that energy to them, it detracts from
Oh
us and
yeah,
what we can do more.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Until one day I said, no more. No more giving people my power. No
Mm.
more giving people permission to run over me, man. No more.
Yep.
Because now last year my plaque came in.
Yeah.
It's because it took a year to get it because of the pandemic.
Right.
Okay. I'm an author. I'm a distinguished Toastmaster.
Yep.
I started my coaching business called Army of God Coaching and Consulting,
Yep.
just because I made a decision, man, to change myself,
Mm.
to change my life.
Yeah. And what was that like when you got the word that you were going to be DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster? What was that like, with all that, negativity of people not wanting you to do it, not thinking you could do it, even from yourself some? What was that moment like when you found out that you're going to be in top 2% of all Toastmasters?
Oh, brother, you know what? They can't say anything to me no more, man. Because no. If I go to any club anywhere in the world, anywhere in the world, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. It could be in China, it could be in Australia, it could be in New York. I could go into any conference and say, I'm a distinguished Toastmaster. And they will give me the respect.
Mm.
They will see me different. They will treat
Yeah.
me different. Especially when I tell them that I'm an author also. It's like, what?
Yep.
You, a DT? Yes, sir. Here's my plaque and here's my book.
Yep.
And the
That's
first thing
awesome.
that comes out of their mouth is this: what college did you graduate from? What kind of degree do you have? All of that.
Degree from the School of Hard Knocks, right?
The hard knocks, baby. Hard knocks. But
It's just so cool just hearing your story fully. I mean, I've heard parts of it obviously as we've talked in the past, but yeah, just everything you've been through and had to overcome, and the steps you took to keep moving forward, like on your journey, and you continue to do that as you're building this brand of your Armor of God coaching and consulting, and continuing to, I'm sure there's more book ideas in the future and speaking engagements. And so it's just fantastic what you've done and how you've made an impact in people's lives just from your story. And Pencil Leadership, the fifth trait is that we're all created uniquely with a purpose and with potential to leave a positive mark on the world. And so I'm curious, kind of as we wrap things up with this, when everything is said and done for you here on earth, what do you hope your positive mark is?
there's two things that I've learned in this world. My book is dedicated to my mom. In Spanish, she would say, adelante, mijo, adelante. That means keep moving forward.
Mm.
I've been through so much, bro. I've been shot, I've been stabbed a couple of times. But my mom will always say, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And one of my favorite scriptures of all time is this: all things are possible for the one who believes.
Mm.
And I was reading it today. All things are possible for the one who believes. It don't say some things. It says all things.
Mm.
And that I carry that scripture deep in my heart, my friend.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in the valley or I'm in the lows, I always go back and look up that scripture and say, all things are possible for those who believe.
That's awesome.
And you know what? Everybody who's hearing me out there, man, you could do it. If I could do it, you could do it.
Amazing. The mark of keep moving forward. I think you're building such a good legacy with that. And so again, Israel, thank you so much for being on the show today. Where, besides the link in the description and the show notes for your book, where else can people connect with you and see what you're up to and find out more about you?
They could go to my Facebook, Israel Hernandez, because I'm redoing my whole website again. They could go to Facebook and go called You Are Powerful to look me up. I'm doing the whole thing all over again because one thing I learned in business, you grow.
Oh, yes.
You know, I mean, I thought my first website was bad, cool. But now that I've grown, like, man, I have to change the whole thing around now.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or you know what? If people have any questions, they could email me at israelhernandez1563@gmail.com.
Perfect.
You know?
Awesome. Perfect. Well, yeah, people definitely get connected with Israel, guys. Again, go get his book. Just the motivation, the inspiration from his story and his journey. Keep moving forward on Amazon. Again, link in the show note in the description here. But Israel, so thankful for you being on Pencil Leadership today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. It's an honor and a privilege to be in your show, man. Thank you again.
Thank you. All right, guys, make sure if you're watching this live or replay on your platforms to share it. Get Israel's story out there to more people who could benefit from hearing this, who are in the journey, in the process of moving forward, so we can help, just leave a bigger mark together. But until next time, guys, let's go out and be pencil leaders.